What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today we're of course covering Rise of Civilizations. That's what we do here on the channel, daily content. So if you like what you're seeing here, which hopefully you do, and I know some of you don't, but that's all right. I am mad at you. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Notification button's on so you can be notified every single time we're coming out with videos here on the channel. So today we're going to go over a couple things. Mainly what we're going to focus on is our commander, our Big Daddy commander, who sometimes appears in the Wheel of Spinning Fortune, which is some of the main events over here in the Rise of Civilizations game. We're talking about Richard. That's right, Richard is a monster. He is a mega monster legendary commander. So before we start, let's go ahead and collect up some of our rewards here. We are getting a ton of Tomes of Knowledge, so that is of course. And it looks like the commander of the week is Herman. I know you're so excited about that. You got to be excited about Herman, of course. So I would think you would be, but you know we're just playing. So I don't think anybody's excited about Herman. It's cool when you got like Joan in there or Sun Tzu or CPO. Things like that are always awesome and a good time. So you know, so it's all good. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's get rid of. You guys know I cannot stand the that little notification there. So let's jump in and check out Richard. Of course, he is amazing one. But here's one thing that I really want to talk about. Something that I struggle with. Something that I really have had a hard time finding a good answer about this question, which is going to pertain to those talents right there in that button. As you can see, since I was able to unlock and summon Richard, and I got his skill set here to 5, 1, and 1. I have not touched his talents, mainly because he's been running as a secondary commander. Everything that I read, everything that I hear, everything that I have studied about Richard is that he is the #1 secondary commander in the entire game. Of course, everybody loves Joan as a secondary support commander because she's amazing and everybody can get her, everybody has her, and she's easy to level up. But Richard here, he's tough to get. He's tough to extremely level up unless you're a content creator or someone who's dumping a ton of money into the game. But Richard, he is probably the best secondary commander. That's because of this skill right here, his active skill, because you're looking at this Soul of the Crusaders. Max out level 5 if you can, if you're able to. Don't rush through this. This what makes him so important in the game right here. The healing factor of 1400 is amazing. The damage reduction of 30%. Now, I tried running a few tests with him over the last couple days, and it's just amazing how he's able to heal up and just bring guys back to life on the battlefield. So it's amazing. So you're talking about thousands of troops that are healed and revived and brought back. So he's a monster. So you're talking extreme tanking. So, but here's my question. If you're using Richard as a secondary commander, I want you guys to comment down below. I know we have some super knowledgeable guys. I know because you're slamming me sometimes in the comments, but it's all good. But this is where I want you guys to shine right now. Tell me, as a secondary commander, what is really the point of having the talents? Now remember, talents do not stack. Your skills up here as a primary and a secondary commander, they do stack. So the two commanders, their skills stack, the talents do not. So right here, these talents, if you're running him as a secondary commander, it might as well look like this because they're not being used unless you're running Richard as a primary. But everything that I've seen, especially in the current meta, no one's really running Richard as a primary because it seems to be taking away. Because if you can have a monster in there, say Julius or a Scipio out there as your primary, and their amazing skills that they're using with their talents, being able to use that first skill right there with Richard's defense, that is the game changer. But of course, like I said, I want your feedback. What is the purpose of these talents right there? Do I even need to go in? Now, it looks like maybe I want to run. I'm not running full infantry. Defense, like I said, I'm not really running him as a primary. So why should I go ahead and build him at this point in my game? Because there might be a time when the meta is going to flip and it's going to change, and now Richard could go to a primary commander, and at that time maybe I'm going to want to go with more defense, or maybe Garrison at that point. Or are you also using him as a secondary commander but he is your garrison commander, so you build him as a garrison commander. So I think that's the route that I'm going to take. What I'm doing, I still do not want to jump into this. I have a few resets left out there, but I'm saving my resets for the big January 2019 update in case there's some changes, like I said, in the meta, or changes to some of these guys, their talent trees. Because if you remember, I think it was the November update, total revamp on the talent tree 2.0. The names got changed, how they were used. Some guys got switched, some commanders got switched. So right now, I think I'm holding off. I think I'm holding off on Richard's talent, because if we jump out to my wall, let's see who's running my wall. I need to pay more attention to that. For those of you who are looking for garrison videos, make sure you're watching Chiskel. Of course, everybody watches Chiskel. He is the man, or one of the men, between him and Lezerani and Spooby. Gecko, those guys have just put awesome. Echo, Stridox, all those guys, Shinchi, they just put out amazing videos. And from what I've been seeing, Chiskel has been putting some awesome defensive videos out there. So let's go see who is in the wall right now. So it's Charles Martel and Sun Tzu right now. They are at my wall. So I'm not putting Richard there unless you tell me to. Sway my opinion why I should be putting Richard at the wall. Like I said, this game, there's so many different facets to Rise of Civilizations when you're talking about farming, when you're talking about PvP, PvE, going out and nuking, go ahead and collecting rewards, go ahead and doing events, commanders, each different commander, how they're paired up, how they're used. There's so many things that go on in this game, and really, I think as a community, we should be helping out each other instead of slamming each other. So like I said, a lot of people read the comments, and it's also something that we can kind of talk about. Go back and forth with people saying, hey, this is how you should build Richard, and then someone else might come in and say, no, this is how you should use Richard, so this is how you should build him. So I'm really looking forward. Like I said, he is a monster commander, and I'd like to see it done right, and I'd like to see it done well. So I'm curious, how are you thinking that he is one that should be built? So right now, the 24 talent points, they're going to sit there. They're going to stay there. I'm not going to build them yet because, like I said, I want to do it right. I want to hear what people in the community have to say. I want to hear what you, the viewers, have to say. So time is yours. We will catch you guys later. I'll be holding